I believe we need to create a pathway to citizenship. All of that is a part of what we need to do for comprehensive immigration reform. Kamala Harris will work with Congress and get that done.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Conservative Core, where our goal is to shine a light on the ridiculousness of the left. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. The plan has been finally revealed. Elizabeth Warren went on CNN and confirmed that Kamala Harris would grant citizenship to the 10 million illegals she let in as Border Czar. It's amazing that she is openly saying this. I mean, we all know that's what's going to happen, but this isn't a popular policy. It really is insane. And nobody has an issue with immigrants. We just want to see them come in the right way, the legal way. And if you think this is not a huge issue, just take a listen to this video, which is in Brooklyn, New York City, and just take a look at the state of the city right now.
Some here are frightened now just to go outside.
Now it feels like that whole section is just not available to the community
asking our local elected
anymore.
So
our parks are not available to
Can't go there.
anymore.
Search out and give us a list of all of the empty lots that there are.
Migrants from a 4,000-bed shelter nearby fill the sidewalks. They sit on park benches, on stoops and curbs, under the BQE overpass. So many people crowded in here, residents feared what was coming.
We have been witnessing the escalation in violence on the street and in the community for months now.
We've been pleading with the mayor, as we've seen increased violence, that this was going to be inevitable.
And on Sunday night, it came. 2 people were murdered here, a third critically injured just outside one of the 2 adjacent shelters in Clinton Hill. It is a neighborhood now, pleading for help. Residents came together tonight to demand the city provide more protection for them now and move to downsize the 2 enormous and crowded migrant shelters in Clinton Hill.
There is simply no universe where you can cram 4,000 vulnerable people together safely. Do you believe us now? How many more murders will it take?
This video is responsible for the 2 Sunday night murders. In the video, he appears to be putting a gun in his waistband. The mayor today didn't offer much hope, saying police are looking at a violent Venezuelan street gang as the people behind the shootings.
They're extremely dangerous. We're dealing with violent individuals that are not representative of the overwhelming number of people who are coming here as migrant and asylum seekers.
No one has yet been arrested for those murders on Sunday night, and that definitely hasn't made anyone here feel any safer. Police say they know who they're looking for, they just haven't found him yet. In Clinton Hill, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Once again, we see the fallout of reckless immigration policies hitting the heart of our communities. Clinton Hill in Brooklyn is facing the brunt of this disaster. Shelters overcrowded with migrants have led to increased violence, and the local residents are paying the price. The mainstream media and liberal politicians keep pushing their open borders agenda, ignoring the very real and dangerous consequences. This is what happens in these sanctuary cities. The left's policies are proving to be unsustainable yet again and are failing our communities. Instead of prioritizing safety and security, they continue to push ineffective and dangerous agendas. And don't let anyone fool you. The media keeps trying to push Kamala as a moderate, but this is a lie. Kamala Harris is as far left as they come. I mean, you saw it just before. She was in charge of the border, which is still a mess, and now they want to give them citizenship. She wants to increase taxes, and she is all for defunding the police.
Harris sending this out on X. If you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota.
Thanks to Harris's promotion, the group reportedly raised $35 million in just a few weeks.
Darnica Floyd, charged with second-degree murder for stabbing a friend to death. She got out of jail, too. A twice-convicted rapist, currently charged with kidnapping and sexual assault, and he walks out, too.
The Freedom Fund raked in donations when it was promoted by many, including now Vice President Kamala Harris.
Sean Michael Tillman shot and killed a passenger on a train platform after reportedly being released from jail 3 weeks prior. All thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Donovan Boone was charged with breaking into the home of an ex-girlfriend and choking her. Freedom Fund bailed him out for $3,000 cash, and he hasn't shown up for court since.
I often don't even look at a charge specifics when I bail someone out.
The Hennepin County attorney called out the Minnesota Freedom Fund for bailing Mosley out of jail twice previously, even though he was arrested for having a gun in the courthouse.
The Minnesota Freedom Fund, which pays cash bail for low-income criminals, paid Tims's entire $10,000 bail in cash. 11 days later, police found a man bleeding from the head and ears in this alley. Police were able to arrest Tims in connection to this violent assault.
Howard was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The Minnesota Freedom Fund acknowledged supporting Howard's bail.
But the media today will try to tell you this all never happened, that Harris never donated to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, and all that. Now, of course, it's another fake news semantics fact check. She didn't actually donate to the fund. No, she just promoted it on her Twitter. Absolutely idiotic. That's essentially the same thing. In fact, it is actually worse. With her influence, her tweeting this out goes 10 times further than a donation of $1,000. When you promote something as an influencer, politician, celebrity, or public individual, you're contributing to that entity in some form of value, even if you're not literally giving them money. But of course, the media thinks we're stupid and don't understand that. Now, they think we're stupid enough to believe that Kamala Harris is going to be a moderate who's going to be the right person for the job when it comes to fixing all of these problems. Yeah, except most of these problems are caused by Kamala Harris. She's the Border Czar, and look at the chaos she's created at the southern border. What's the idea now? Vote for Kamala Harris to fix the southern border. Or no, how about vote for Kamala Harris to fix the economy and the inflation issue? Yeah, you mean Kamala Harris, who in many cases was the key vote behind a lot of this massive inflation triggering spending. She's the vice president who comes in and breaks the tie, allowing all the inflationary spending to run rampant. Yeah, vote for Kamala Harris to fix inflation. If you think she can fix inflation, I have a bridge to China to sell you. But it gets a lot worse. I mean, she is telling you exactly what she wants to do.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right? We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity.
So let me get this straight. Harris advocates for a system where everyone ends up at the same place, arguing that because we didn't all start from the same position, some people require more assistance and redistribution of wealth. This approach is fundamentally flawed and aligns with Marxist principles. Her stance implies that the government should intervene heavily in wealth distribution to ensure everyone ends up on equal footing. This isn't just about addressing inequality, it's about imposing a system where economic outcomes are centrally controlled and individual achievements are undermined. Such policies threaten to erode the principles of meritocracy and personal responsibility, and instead push us toward a more collectivist society where government dictates economic outcomes. There is another word for all of this. It is called communism. The Democrats are done trying to hide it. They are just openly coming out and saying this is what they want. I mean, we all saw it live firsthand when they forced Biden off the ticket. Even though millions of Americans voted for Joe, the Democrats and the elites basically said, Biden can't beat Trump, so we are removing him. In fact, we got some news about that as well. It is now being reported by investigative journalist Seymour Hersh, who suggested Barack Obama threatened Biden with the 25th Amendment, saying he had Kamala's approval to force him out of the 2024 race. Hersh said Obama was deeply involved with the alleged coup and called Biden after his incident in Las Vegas. Obama apparently called Biden after breakfast on July 20th and said, "Here's the deal. We have Kamala's approval to invoke the 25th Amendment," a senior Washington official told Hersh. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries were reportedly directly involved. Apparently, Obama's plan was to not immediately endorse Kamala, but it was clear that she would get the nod, and it was determined that her being a prosecutor would help in debates. The party of democracy strikes again. This is what we call a coup. Well, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, and like this video for more conservative news daily. See you in the next one.